All right, so you're going to get one website here, and it's showing you how to create shapes using CSS and actually HTML as well. All right, so if I wanted to make a square, I'm going to go to this, I'm going to click Try It Yourself, and here is the CSS part of it. And remember that dot notation of dot square, and then you put your stuff down. And then for the HTML part, you're going to classify it as the word square. So that's where that dot notation comes. All right. We are going to do everything using the division tag. The division tag just basically sections off our website, and it helps us create different things. Like, for example, this project, we are going to work on creating a face. So when we go to our web lab, the first thing we're going to do in our HTML is create a division tag. All right, both the beginning and the ending. All right, and now in between this beginning part, right, we want to classify it. So we're going to say class, and we will just call it face. Okay, so now we have our division class face. Now in our style sheet, if we go back to here, and it shows us in our style sheet, it's saying the whatever we're making. In this case, on this one it's the square, but on our case it's the face. The height is 50 pixels, the width is 50 pixels, and the background color is 555, which is gray, so it's making a square. So let's say we wanted a square face. We go back to our web lab and we type that in. So dot face, and we want to say our height, our height is, I'll just put what they have, 50 pixels. Our width is 50 pixels. And the color, background color, so that's different. So here we're going to see that it's the background color, not just the color. So background color, and we can just, I'm going to just put it at that. Now, when I see that, that looks like a pretty small face. We have to fit eyes and a nose and mouth or whatever we're doing inside of it. So instead of 50, I am going to do 500. So if I do 500, now that's a big enough space for me to fit stuff in. And what's nice about it is even in this preview screen, I can see that it's in that spot. So we're good. Now, anything inside of this HTML tag is what's going to go in the face. So we can see this division face. And now here, everything that's in here is going to go, you can see, in that square. All right. So when I type it outside of it, it goes below. All right. Well, we want everything in the square. So a good way of doing it is just to put this all the way down below. Now we know everything I put in here is going to be in my square. So what I want to do is, let's say I want to start working on the eyes and I want to make the eyes a circle. I'm going to do the try it yourself with the circle here. And this, it's the same thing, 50 pixels and 50 pixels, background color gray. But the one difference is it says border radius 50%. So I go back in here, and in this case, I'm going to make a new division, and I'm going to call this one circle. Right? And so this one is my circle in the middle here. So when I come back here, my dot notation is dot circle, and I want to put this same stuff up here, right? So I can even just copy and paste it. I probably don't want that same color though. So I'm just going to pick a different color just so you can see it. All right. And then I also want to say that my border radius is 50%. All right. And now, when I go back into here, and I can see that the division circle is within my thing. The one thing I forgot is to put class in front of it. So class equals, we can say circle, like that. All right. Now we can see that's probably too big. So if I went to make my circle 50 by 50, now we have that. Another cool thing is if I wanted to make two circles, I'm just going to do this twice, and now I have two circles in there. All right. And those are going to eventually be my eyes. Okay, well, what I'm probably going to do is get everything down that I want, okay, and the thing with this is now I'm going to use my Flexbot Froggy stuff, right? And so I'm going to see where I want my eyes or how I want it to be. So let's say as I'm going through here, if I'm only focused on my eyes, maybe I'll have the eyes be right in the center of it, just for now, okay? So I see on here, it says display flex, justify content center, align items center. So I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to say in here, in my face, because my entire face is the pond, right? So in this case, for the pond, we want everything in there. So that's basically what my pond is. So I come back here and I say, in my face, I'm going to go display flex, justify content, center, and align items, center. All right, and now just like that, now my two eyes come in the middle. All right, and so that's just one little step. Obviously, you're going to do other steps with that to get them the way you want. One last thing is I can even go more into the circle. So these are the circles, right? And if I want to put a circle within the circle, this first one, right? So within this circle, I'm going to put a division tag in there that says, I'm going to say class, and this is going to be like I. All right. So within this circle, I want a circle that is going to be an eye. So I want the same kind of stuff. Copy and paste. All right. The difference is I want this. I'm going to actually make this, we'll say white. All right. I'm going to make them white. And instead of 50, I'm going to make it 10 by 10. All right. And instead of a circle here, I want ours to say eyes, or eyes. All right, so now we can see that. All right, well, what we did for this, we want to do for this one too, right? So if I want this in the middle, display flex, justify content, and align items, I'm going to do that for my circle as well. And now I have my eye in the middle of my circle. And so that's kind of what we want to do with our content. Just remember that if we're trying to figure out this entire space here, right, everything inside of it is going to be inside the face, right? And everything inside the circle is going to deal with just that. So when we start putting our pieces in here, we want to make sure that we're putting them in the correct spot in our HTML. All right. So